Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Easy Beasy podcast. We love to keep it nice and easy. Well, except for that intro. I'm Zayo, joined as always by the wonderful, awesome Brandon and Lauren as well. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing good.
You good? Everything all right? What's been happening around the block lately? Any crazy news? Any announcements? Any surprises?
Let's say that someone tried to throw a shoe at the baby.
Okay, I didn't say any lawsuits. I said any announcements or surprises. That sounds more like legal trouble.
I know, right?
Hey,
But
besides like the updates with COVID, apparently Walmart's making it mandatory for their people to get vaccines.
Yep.
And the new serial killer in Atlanta, nothing
Yep.
new over here.
yeah, nothing new. But
Wow.
there is something new here with us. You know,
Okay.
everybody.
Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guests?
Yes. So everyone, welcome to the Easy Beasy podcast. He's a good friend of mine. I could say a mentor. I kind of have looked up to him in the assistive technology field. Everyone, welcome to the Easy Beasy Dudley Morris.
Give it up for Dudley, everybody.
Hello.
Everyone give it up.
Hello.
Hello.
A mentor, you say? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I kind of looked up to you, especially in the Apple side of computers.
So
And I look-
you're an Apple guy.
Yes, I
Yes.
am. Going back to
Ah.
2009, I got my third generation iPod Touch and haven't looked back. Yeah.
Before we get into all the stuff we have to talk about, just why don't you just go ahead and tell yourself, introduce yourself, and tell everybody, what you're about.
Okay. Well, my name is Dudley Morris. Hello. Thank you for having me. I am an assistive technology instructor with Vision Rehab Services based out of Smyrna, along with Brandon here. And I've been in that profession almost 8 years. And along with that, I consider myself kind of a geek in all things kind of pop culture. I love movies, reading, music, playing guitar. I've been playing guitar for over about 30 years now, and just love talking. Have a little bit of history in broadcasting, so I like to hear myself talk. And so just thanks for having me.
I'm curious. We haven't had an opportunity to really talk about this much during the podcast, but you said you and Brandon, you both are assistive technology instructors. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So for those out there who don't really know what that entails or what goes with that, what does an assistive technology instructor do?
You want to take that one, Brandon?
Sure. So basically, what we're trained for or we're specialized in. So basically, assistive technology instructors are specialized in like training individuals who have, let's say, low vision or no vision, or may progressively start losing vision. We like to teach them technology skills to help them, gain their independence or gain their confidence into using computers again. But that, it's a lot of technology out there that people use. For example, on Dudley's side, he's more specialized in using Apple products. So like he knows how to use voiceover more better than me on the MacBook, use Zoom better than me on the MacBook, and different type of technology in the Apple field. But what I'm tended to is using JAWS, which stands for Job Access with Speed. Lauren, Dudley, and Adaji knows how that sounds like. And I use NVDA, which is also a free text-to-speech software, which is known as non-vision desktop access or something like that. And then of course the basic Windows narrator on your computer for all Windows users, and magnifier also. So basically, we're here just to help those who lost their vision or completely blind learn how to use their technology once again, even on their phones.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah. And so just a little background on me. I'm visually impaired myself, and I have a form of retinopathy, which is retinal damage as a result of being a premature birth. And I was introduced to some early forms of assistive technology back when I was in elementary school. So I would use, and I didn't really know this now, but I used old Apple IIe computers for real basic word processing, report writing, typing, typing tutorials and whatnot. And so it was a very small and niche kind of thing back then. But as technology has progressed, and as we now find ourselves in a more inclusive world where we try to make everything accessible to everybody, that translates in the technology side of it as all of these consumer electronics from all the different manufacturers like Google, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, other consumer electronics companies, trying to make their products as user-friendly and as accessible to as many people as possible. And so that's where we come in, is we help to unlock that technology for our clients. And a lot of the stuff is already built in. You just have to go in and turn it on, which a lot of folks are not aware of, because it's not really promoted by these companies themselves. Used to, it would cost a lot of money to make a computer accessible, and now we just live in a time where just by going into your technology of choice and flipping a switch, you can make it talk to you, you can enlarge it, you can make it different colors, whatever you need. And so Brandon and I, we just help you as the end user kind of dial in what features work best for you. And that's it.
That's dope. What would you say? Now, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I have to ask, because I always love asking this question when anyone has like experience, like dealing with people, on a daily basis and stuff. What were, and this question for either you or Brandon, but Dudley, I would love to get your answer if you have one. What's one of the most like interesting experiences you've had? You said, like, just
I said I'll have an answer. You give me a question, I'll come up with an answer.
Okay, what are one of the most interesting experiences that you've had that you can think about, like, oh yeah, that was weird or crazy, or that was caught my attention, or I always remember that, like, just because you've been doing this for 8 years, right? So I mean, you've had to deal with a lot of people, talk to a lot of people,
right?
So what are some experiences that you had? I'm really curious.
Yeah, so that's true. So in this type of work, you do span a lot of different kind of socioeconomic different situations, and I would say probably the most interesting ones are the ones where you are going into a person's place of employment, because you're not only are you working with them on a personal level, but you're kind of getting a look inside of what they do for a living, and so you're getting exposed to different types of job environments that you may not have ever come across on your own.
So you would just go in there and just in their job and like actually see how they work in their environment. Okay.
Right. So I've been into call centers. I've been into classrooms, just standard, just high school aged classrooms that I've been working with teachers who are visually impaired themselves, and they're working with children who are also visually impaired, but they need a little help with the technology as the teacher, so they can turn around and help out their student. And so that's probably been the biggest thing.
Would you rather work with children or adults?
Oh, adults. And the reason I say that, and it's
He didn't
nothing.
hesitate.
Oh no, and it's nothing against children. It's
person preference.
I try about 20 years ago. I was a first grade classroom teacher. I actually wanted to go and work with visually impaired children around Y2K, around the turn of the century, and so I did a little bit of research because I always joked that, well, if there's one thing in this world that I know how to do and I know what to do and could pass along, would be how to be a visually impaired child, because I came up, being a visually impaired child. So you teach what you know. Mm-hmm. And so I went through the research and I found out what all needed to be done to get that secondary education. And I found out, well, you have to go get a general education certificate, and then you overlay on top of that the special ed, and eventually you get to the layer where you learn about working with visually impaired children. And I'm like, okay, so I go down the general ed path. I go through like a 2-year program to get a teaching certificate to work with just general early childhood aged children, which is kindergarten through 5th grade.
Right.
And I land a job as a first grade. I was actually hired to teach 5th grade. And so I went to the school to kind of get a tour of it and to get my teacher's editions. And this is all pre iPad and everything. I don't know if kids these days, I don't have any children, so I don't know if kids these days still use textbooks or if everything's on iPads or how they do it.
Whoa.
But I know back then we had these things called books, and we had pen and paper or pencil and paper, and you actually had to write things down.
No, they have math.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
So I go to get my teacher's editions, and I was meeting with the principal that had hired me, and she said, well, since we hired you, we had this first grade position come available, and would you like to stay with your 5th grade class, or would you like to teach first grade? And I'd never taught. This is my first year out of school, and I really didn't know, one thing or over the other.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you just give me that first grade classroom, because, what's the worst thing that could happen? All I've got to do is teach these kids 2+2 and C-spot run and all of this kind of stuff. And it turned out to be the hardest year, like vocationally, the hardest year of my life, like my professional life. It was hard, and I don't know how I found the strength just to get up and go through it day after day for that school year, because
what made it so difficult, if I can ask?
I'm just not. I learned a lot about myself, and I'm just not a good just manager, like just a manager of children, because a lot of it is, you first have to wrangle them all together, get them in their chair, take their lunch money, make sure that they're not having panic attacks and wanting to go to the nurse because they want to go home, and you got to be their psychiatrist, and you got to be all this and that. And then at the end of the day, or, within the first hour or so, if you get all that stuff taken care of, then maybe you can start to teach them something. You can start to teach them academics, but you got to get through all that other stuff, and that's just not my personality type.
So you were a psychologist as well,
right?
As an instructor.
And if you've ever seen Kindergarten Cop, that old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he goes undercover as a kindergarten school teacher, and those kids are just hanging off the walls and they're just running crazy. That's not too far from how mine was. And, so at the end of you're hired on a year by year basis. You agree to a employment contract on a year by year basis, or at least I was. And so at the end of that first year, we just agreed to part company, and I went off and did something else. And I just learned that You can learn skills on how to be a teacher. They can teach you, classroom management and how to keep track of all of your records, and they can teach you how to do effective lesson plans and all of this and that. But to really be a successful teacher, I feel that that's just something that it's just an innate skill that you're kind of born with, or you just develop on your own. And it's the classroom experiences of going and getting your college degree or your teaching certificate that kind of reinforces that. But I don't think you can be taught really to be a great teacher. On a deeper level. That's just something that you develop, or that you just have.
I mean, I feel like people have natural
yes
kind of inclination for certain things, like especially teaching. Not everybody has because if you're a teacher, you have to have a lot of patience for one.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Right, like you have to, like you were saying, like manage people's personalities and like all of that, like I always wondered why when I was younger. I always wondered why, like in school, like we would get in elementary school, you would get yelled, like the class would get yelled at a lot,
almost
right?
like 20 times in like 1 hour.
In like 1 hour, like seriously. And it's like, you're in it and you're like, why is blah, 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 blah. But then
but when you're older, you understand, because
you understand why, because it's like it goes, you can say it, you can say
children.
Yeah, like you can literally say one thing and it goes in one ear and out the other. Like
Our attention span. You can't get mad at them because they have such a tiny attention span. As a child, there's so many things that they want to do, and you're trying to get 30 kids to coordinately sit down and listen and learn things. It's so difficult in a class setting, especially for kindergartners.
Right. And I had this thing, I tried all these different techniques of kind of getting their attention, and I had this thing. I had these wind chimes. I don't know where I came up with this or where I saw this on, but I had these wind chimes that I kept by the front door, and I guess it was supposed to be some kind of Pavlovian, Pavlov's dog kind of thing. When they heard these calming wind chimes, they were supposed to like sit down and calm down and just, take a breath. That didn't work. I was up there just banging those wind chimes back and forth, and they're just all over the place. But no, I had I even got it. It kind of became a family thing. And this is right after 9/11. I'm surprised they were able to do this. But my sister, who we were roommates at the time, she would come in and she would help me. She was kind of like my unofficial parapro, the teacher's aide.
Yeah.
She would come in and kind of help me out, and she would kind of be an extra pair of eyes and hands and kind of help me out. And I had my uncle and his wife would come every so often, and it became like a family. Everybody in my family knew my 20 kids, and they knew my 20 kids by name, and it's funny. Now they're probably, well, I know they are. Now they're in their early to mid 20s and probably have families of their own, and so. That's where I learned to kind of listen to your gut, because all during my educational process to get that certificate, it just never felt right. Like everything, I felt like I had to work harder to do average work, whereas my the other students in my class, it just seemed to come easier to them. Like we would have an assignment where we would have to develop like a science lesson. The college professor would say, okay, we're going to have each one of you all get up and present a lesson on, I don't know, pick a subject. And my fellow classmates would just come up with these just extravagant, just over the moon quality. I remember this one classmate of mine, she was doing a lesson on the different layers of soil in the earth, and so she baked a cake, and each layer of the cake was represented a different piece of the Earth's crust. Like if you were to see like a sideways
Oh,
shot
cool.
of the Earth's
Oh.
crust from the top layer on down to
Right.
she made a cake that represented the different layers of the Earth. And so she gave the lesson, and then at the end of the lesson she cut the cake and we all had cake, and that was just something that just blew my mind. And
Well, if I was the teacher, I would give them an A because you bribed me with cake and you were successful.
yes.
You succeeded. If
Right.
that's I always have told, like, I don't think I've really said this to many people, but I always said, like, after I do whatever I do in my career, like, I want to just my last career choice would be like to teach. So maybe in the future, if someone can like have this as reference, all you have to do to bribe me is give me food, and
That's
you
right.
will pass my class every time.
That's right.
You will pass.
People
So
tell teachers that there's no way that they can bribe you.
And I can imagine now, not having stepped foot in a classroom really outside of just the rare technology lesson. I just can't imagine how in this age of social media and everybody has a screen in their pocket, how teachers are able to keep children's attention, because I couldn't do it
so how
Well-
what are oh, go ahead, Warren.
without that.
Yeah, thank you. To be fair, nowadays with school, they have a lot of online things. Like there's an app. I know back when we were in school, they had, I think it's called Edmodo, that they would have. So
Oh
they
my
would
gosh.
Oh my goodness.
on our phones.
Does anyone know though? I'm sure some of you know what
I know
Edmodo is, but
it-
it was basically
Terrible.
The Facebook for school.
Facebook for school.
Oh.
It sounds as good as that. Yeah, Facebook for school. That sounds great, right? Yeah.
That, but yeah.
So they had that, and we had to upload all of our assignments there. That's
I
where they got
remember
them.
favorite teachers, the best ones would update us
Banana.
at midnight and 1 a.m. and drive
Oh,
you
wow.
next day. Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah. But my little takeaway from all of that was kind of listen to your gut and, find something that, for everybody out there looking for a career and looking for some kind of direction, do something that's kind of an extension of what you enjoy doing. And if it doesn't feel right, then, then really, really pay attention to that and don't be afraid to pivot and do something else, because if you get too far down that road of doing things that you don't enjoy, then it's just going to cause a lot of emotional problems. And but on the other side of that coin, kind of getting back to what Brandon and I do love working with adults, and I could get up every day, and I'm so thankful that I did find this career, because I get to, it doesn't stress me out, number one, and I can and I can get up and I just know that I'm just going to go do my job, and whatever happens, but I know that I can do it, and I think
Yes.
that's that having that peace of mind, because I used to, I'd go to bed at night and I'm like, man, I got to get up. It's just Monday night and I got to get up and I got to go do this and mess with these kids 4 more days this week, and it's just October and I got to do this until May. And so teachers, grade school teachers, you have my respect and admiration, and you are gifted and you have skills and all that.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the teachers out there.
That's right.
Yes.
You guys are dope. What, Brandon? So is there anything from your experience that you feel like maybe like kind of differs in terms of your perspective on what you do, or like how you do it? Like,
For me, it's almost the same, but what really drives me is, like you said, I can get up, but what helps me, because everyone here knows my story by now. So like, if there's a client that I meet that feels really down and like they're like, I'm losing my vision, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm not a counselor, but I can tell you my story. So like, I lost my vision. You know, I went through what you've been through. You know, I went through the 5 stages of grief and everything. But look, there's another side of the story. You can keep going and make yourself better. So like, you know, me, that's what happened to me, you know, and all the clients I meet. It's so interesting, like from younger age to older age. I really do like working with the adults who are blind. They're, you know, I don't have to like, you know, change the way I speak or anything. Like, ha, 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 this is funny. Especially like when I went out to like the Morgan County training, and I got to work with all those old blind parents and that all the older generations. Like, they're just nice. Like the older they are, they're just much nicer. I haven't met one person who is blind or losing their vision or low vision that says, you know, has shown me any anger at me or anything. It's just been all nice. You know, this job is very relaxed, nice. I get to hear people's story and I get to inspire. So, you know, I'm doing a lot more than teaching. I'm actually here to inspire and tell them like, go for your dreams, shoot for it.
I just love how for the second week in a row we've just gone the inspirational route and just like this is just, I feel so uplifted, guys. Like, you know, like I feel warm inside.
Fly.
Yes. Oh, I believe I can touch the sky. All of that. I'm curious how was like, because you Dudley, you said like you would kind of go to people's work environments and see how things operate and all that. How has COVID kind of changed that? Has it changed it at all? Has it?
Yes.
Is it different?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and let me preface this by saying that COVID obviously is a horrible thing and it's impacted everybody on different levels, of course. But from a work point of view, I used to travel. I used to see people in person throughout the north half of the state 5 days a week, and I would spend, at least 4 hours a day, or maybe around 3 to 4, sometimes longer hours a day in the car, going to meet all these people one-on-one. And that's just that just goes with the job. You kind of just agree that's just part of it. And but Friday, quitting time on Friday would roll around, and I wouldn't want to see the inside of a car until Monday morning, because I've spent so much time on the road.
Right.
And I just parked myself on my couch and I wouldn't move for like 48 hours or so, because I just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to kind of recharge my batteries. Well, when COVID came along, and obviously that changed our delivery model, and we did have to kind of change how we interacted with the folks. And of course, like a lot of businesses and whatnot, Zoom came to be a big thing. And so,
yes,
I would say for the first couple of months, we were exclusively doing Zoom lessons, or just talking to people over the phone. We got a lot of our clients connected through support groups over the phone. And then as things slowly started opening back up, we kind of switched to kind of a hybrid, where we would spend so many days still going on Zoom or remote, some form of remote. And then the other days, if certain safety protocols were met and if the clients were up to it, then we would meet in person. And then kind of getting to where we are now, it's pretty much a choice. Zoom has just become another tool, or not just Zoom, but just the idea of not having to be side by side, face to face with these people. It's been proven that we can work remotely, and so that has cut down on the need to travel all the time. So for me, I try to work remotely 2 to 3 days a week, but if a person, and you kind of figure out who remote instruction versus face to face, which person works best with what strategy. And But I would say that Zoom or COVID, just you know, in the grander scale, it kind of forced us to be a little bit more creative, but we're still kind of able to implement that. And from a traveling teacher point of view, I like being able to have that control of, you know, I can do some days from the home, or, you know, I could just go park myself and my laptop wherever, and I can work with a client. You know, if they have the ability to connect with me on Zoom, then I can work with them and they can share their screen with me, and we can work, and I can hear, you know, like with Brandon with his screen reader, I could hear the screen reader coming through my speaker just as if we were sitting next to each other.
Yes.
So that's one of the, I'd say one of the, not benefits, but just one of the little positives, if any, to kind of come out of all this.
Right.
That I think is going to have long-term effects just on just our industry, along with a lot of other industries. You know, it forced us to just kind of rethink how we deliver our services.
And I mean, I think people haven't really realized yet how much things have changed forever, but COVID has changed a lot of things permanently.
Yes.
There's and like, I know everyone wants to get back to, you know, everyone out and about and you know, how things were before, but I don't think we're ever going to get back to the way things were before. I mean, a lot of jobs out there, you know, are just not, either they're not available anymore, or people just don't want to do them because or feel like it's necessary to have it in, at least in the same structure. Like you, I mean, I know you guys kind of have to have, you know, like you were saying, Zoom has been like a big thing, meeting with people remotely. Like now people don't have as much, a lot of businesses, you know, they're not renting out office spaces anymore because everyone can just, you know, meet with each other online and like through like in home and stuff. Like I see.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like I see people talk about oh, like how do we get people back to working you know, at McDonald's, and how do we get people back to working at this, like, you know, this minimum wage, like 9-to-5 restaurant job. And it's just like, well, you know, I mean, not only are we're still in the pandemic, first off, like not only are we still in it, you know, we're still in it, but like you know, it's just people. I just feel like this whole thing has kind of changed a lot of people's perspective on things. Like, you know, what, you know, kind of like,
and what work-wise, what is worth doing, and what can we do better finally? Because I want to say a lot of things with work, especially like within the food industry, being that I work in the food industry, a lot of the practices that we had before, now that we've changed because of COVID, you realize how like low-key unsanitary certain things were.
I'm scared to ask what. Because
no, I just mean like little things, like being that we wear masks now all the time,
right.
And to realize how much food you make and how often, or at least from what I've seen since I've started, you know, work from, you know, I didn't start working until after high school. And I didn't realize, like, when you work at fast food and whatnot, a lot of people require those minimum wage jobs to live, because not everyone is doing that job fresh out of high school. Most people are doing that for a living, and you can't afford to not be at work when you have a cold or when you're sick. And being that back then we didn't wear masks. So how many people were walking around? Granted, they washed their hands, you know, but how
sometimes
often...
when they felt like it.
True. But how often have you like accidentally sneezed into your arm and that sneeze didn't get elsewhere? Now that we wear masks, that doesn't happen. And because COVID has been so tight, the moment someone has the slightest of fever, you're getting sent home. Back then, you could be sick as a dog and they will still have you work.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only time you go home is if you're dying. You had to get an ambulance to leave work, and then you're still in trouble.
Yeah.
So COVID has been a blessing for a lot of sick people.
I would say definitely like, I mean, you walk around like the whole like, oh, I'm sick and I'm just walking around sneezing everywhere and like on everything. And like I think that's dead. Like at least for the time being.
We were like when we were in school, I would get sick a lot, achoo, cough, like Bernie, all right? Yeah, okay. Look at the board of your assignment.
Now it's like you do the same thing. I shoot like literally everyone grabs their desks simultaneously and just like scoots to the other side of the room.
A person moves to the corner of the room.
Yeah, that happened to me. I guess right before everything really locked down, but kind of the word was going around that this COVID thing is escalating and it's taking up more of the news and everything. My wife and we were at, I don't know, like Waffle House or somewhere, and she sneezed, and I'm thinking to myself, now they're gonna think that we're, we got it, and they're gonna like quarantine us off to the side, or everybody's gonna like you say, kind of move over to the corner, and we're gonna be left over here. But I think kind of along those lines, I think as time progresses and we're more mindful of just ourself and our germs and everything that we're doing, and all of these kind of safeguards have been kind of put in place with the masks and the plexiglass everywhere. It's going to be interesting to see if just how much of a decrease in just overall communicable disease is that the word I'm looking for? Just like how if the flu rates are going to go down, and the rates of getting the common cold and everything are going to go down, because we kind of have this new somewhat of an infrastructure in place where everybody's kind of been trained to be mindful with the masks, and there's all this plexiglass and all these protective barriers everywhere between you and the other person.
And it really works. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I haven't been sick in like, I can't even remember last time I was sick. Seriously. Cause like, it's like, you just, who knew? You stay away from everybody and you just don't spread germs. Like, whoa,
and it's epiphany as to why it hasn't been like this before, because the sickness rates for so many different sicknesses were so high prior to COVID. So I feel like things have improved.
I mean, yeah, like now we talk about, a lot of the times we talk about, COVID and the pandemic, like it's like, it's over or whatever. But I mean, we've all seen kind of the cases and stuff kind of go back up again, not only because of just like, everyone's out and about again, but also like the Delta variant.
Yes, all these variants.
Yeah, all these variants, way more. Go ahead. Oh, no, were you saying something? Oh, okay.
I was saying there was another variant. There's the Gamma as well. That's all.
Wow, the Hulk variant. That's crazy.
I was about to say, the Gamma variant. Does it turn you green and make you the Hulk?
Listen, if that's a side effect, if a side effect is I turn green, I turn into the Hulk, and I get super strength. I mean, listen.
That's lit, though. Hey.
I don't know.
Everyone becomes an Avenger,
I don't know. No, but it's definitely it's so crazy how up and down this whole thing has been. We don't really know what's gonna happen in the future. But like people, I mean, I've seen like people are having like concerts and stuff are completely back.
Lollapalooza.
Right? Lollapalooza just happened.
Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud, like all these, like literally just everyone's just out about. I don't know when I'm going to see it go to a concert though. That's something I've been kind of like wrestling with, like when.
And I would like to be back in public and like able to do things again, because like for Georgia, it's gonna come in October. So like I would love to go to the go out and go to the parade and stuff like that. But at the
Right.
same time, I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get sick and then bring that home to my roommates or
Exactly.
to work.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that you have to keep in mind of how quickly things like that spread just because you as an individual get sick because you wanted to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Now,
I think.
speaking of-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, speaking of concerts, I heard that Kanye West is actually living in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium right now.
So wait. So hold on. So not only, right? I don't know, Dudley. I don't know if you knew this. Right. Not only is Kanye he's living in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There was a hilarious photo. Yes, there's a hilarious photo of his living quarters, and it looks like a prison cell. Like it looks like he's staying in prison.
And how did this come about? Because I haven't seen or heard about this. How did he end up?
So it's like he went to do his album preview in LA or Atlanta, right?
Mhm.
So you know he was having all his people there. His ex-wife, I guess you call her now.
Yeah.
Kim
I was about to say,
Kardashian.
was Kim there?
Yep.
Yes, Kim was there. You know, they
Okay.
had on his album. There's a song dedicated to this. You know,
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry and all of this. You know,
Mhm.
and people are saying it's like the vibes he got from his album preview and everything is why he's there.
Oh,
So he's basically there because the album was supposed to come out, I want to say like a week ago or a little over a week ago or under a week ago, around a week ago.
It was a little
And okay. And you know, they had the album listening party. It was supposed to come out that night. And in Kanye West fashion, he said no. It's not done. So what they've decided, not only is he staying in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that is his new home now, I guess. He's paying $1 million apparently
Yes.
to stay every day in order for the privilege to stay in that bunker he's staying in. It is
closet.
the closet. I'm sorry.
So he came and he brought an album to a listening party, and I guess it's going to be like blared over the stadium.
Right. He played it in the stadium. Yeah.
And so at the last minute, he said, no, it's not ready.
Yep.
So he's going to keep it there, and he's going to work on it there until it's ready. And
Yep.
I think
they gave a new date, August the 5th.
Okay.
So, but you know, who believes that? Who really believe like, you know, like August the 5th is gonna come. He's like, no, it's not done again, and he just lives there for like the next 6 months. Who knows? After 2020, who knows what's gonna happen, man?
He can't even do this because you know football's about to start again. You know the Falcons got to play somewhere. You know, what's gonna happen then?
Hey, Falcons got to find a new home, man. Y'all got to play on the street now because Kanye West is taking over Mercedes-Benz, man. That's all.
So Kanye has a distinction in my CD collection. He was the last. His CD was the last one I bought about 2009, I guess. The Circuit City, which was kind of went up against Best Buy as the place to go for like CDs and DVDs and all that kind of stuff. The Circuit City in my hometown closed, and they were having like everything must go kind of sale, and so we went over there, and I was like, man, I really want that. What's that CD? 808s and Heartaches or Heartbreaks?
Heartbreaks. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I wonder if they got that. And by the time I got there, everything had been picked over and nothing was in alphabetical order. But I'm like going through like each stack one at a time, and they had it. And that was the last CD I bought from Circuit City before they went under. And so,
do you still have it?
I do still have it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've got a big. I've got a massive. Now I ripped everything to the computer, but I still have the discs.
Yeah, the originals. Okay.
Yeah, they're in a plastic tub somewhere. Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of Kanye fans would get mad at me because I haven't kept up with Kanye after that album that he's speaking about, but that is my favorite album from Kanye. The only one I care about, to be honest.
I think he's a very interesting artist because I feel like he's changed his sound so many times. I feel like that you're bound to gravitate towards something if you end up listening to it.
I agree.
Like
because I haven't listened to anything since.
right?
But I like that. But I like that album. That's kind of where I got on board and I got off. Right.
Yep.
If you think about the evolution of Kanye, he went from like rapping and then all of a sudden, Lord Jesus is my heart. He evolves.
And it's interesting. He's always incorporated like or talked about his religion in every album, just like sparingly here or there. Like he's mentioned it, and he had like that song Jesus Walks or whatever it was called. Back when he releases his first album. And so, but then he took took it all the way there and made a completely it's supposed to be gospel, but like that's a debate you can have about like if you're music nerds, on the technicalities of that.
It's me because on one hand he worships God, but on the other hand, I feel like he has a really big God complex himself.
Oh yeah, I mean,
That's
Kanye West God complex. It's one and the same.
Yep,
like
Kanye West.
you look up God complex on the dictionary, and then it's just Kanye West. That's the definition. But I will say though, like shout out to him. The album's coming out on the 5th supposedly.
Whenever
if you think it's coming out on the 5th, I don't know, guys. You might want to.
Hopefully this is gonna be a banger though. Him and Kim are divorced, I believe.
I've seen people say, I saw people say, oh, and it's so messed up. I saw people say, as soon as they announced their divorce, oh man, that album's about to be fire, guys. Ooh, it's gonna be so heat. I'm like, guys, he just got divorced. It's not really. Why are you saying?
808s and Heartbreak, Adaze.
Oh.
He's heartbroken. It's gone. We're back, baby.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that translates.
After some of these listening previews, they've been seeing now having great times with the kids and everything in Atlanta. I think they actually went to McDonald's.
I'm gonna say either this is gonna be a banger or it's gonna be releasing some sort of secrets about the Kardashians. And either way, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
Oh, this one over here just wants the drama. This one over here.
Lauren just wants the drama. So
all right. Now
she can digest the album. She can come back and rant about it.
Totally will. Bet.
I'm
just impressed they're having a public listening party. I didn't know they were.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he did. I think he did it for like the last two or three ones. So I mean, we'll see. Listen, I was talking to my friend earlier about this. Like, I feel like though, once you hit 3 commas, like, you start to view the world differently, and you just start doing things that are just like, people like will kind of just look on the outside and kind of like scratch your head, like, like you're, I don't know. I mean, we talked about, I think we talked about either last week or the week before, Jeff Bezos, and that whole space thing, and how, you'd spend millions of dollars to go to space for 4 minutes. Like that's, it's fascinating.
I think the only reason people should be going to space, I'm not going to say, but either you go in there to prove the flat Earth wrong, or you gonna prove something right.
I don't think we need to go to space to prove the flat Earth wrong, bro. I think there are several different ways.
Or I find the aliens, not to prove flat Earth.
Prove aliens too. But we'll see how this goes out with people to space. If we ever make $1 million, we're going to space.
If we do go to space, hopefully. We'd be able to go to a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, I see what you did there. You did a segue.
Yeah, I did.
I got you.
Just as they tell the story of one and only Star Wars, in a galaxy far, far away. Do you know anything about that?
Yes,
Dudley.
I do. Going all the way back. Let's see. I put this on Facebook a while back. It was 40 years ago. Back like in April, my dad took me to see Star Wars. It was a re-release of the original, like, A New Hope, and I was like 5, and he took me. It was right after an Easter egg hunt, and he took me to see it at our local theater. And I remember like walking down the aisle to the seats. And I guess we'd gotten there late because when we were walking in, it was that opening battle, right before Darth Vader comes out. And my 5-year-old mind was just blown.
Yeah.
And then, I've been on it ever since, through all iterations, all the movies, prequels, sequels, the Disney stuff, the Mandalorian, and all that stuff. Baby Yoda, all that.
Shout out Baby Yoda.
You shout out Baby Yoda.
Shout out.
Yes.
You got to shout out Baby Yoda, man.
That's right. That's
So, this gives me, Dudley,
Well-
all I have to say is, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Because I believe it's time, isn't it?
It is.
And that means it's time for
Do you know
what
what you're saying?
All right.
the
Wonderful.
EBG podcast.
We're
All
going
right.
to give you 10 questions, my friend, about said Star Wars.
Okay.
And we're just going to let you vibe out to this Jeopardy music while you think about your answer.
Okay.
You have 2 lifelines. You can either ask the chat for assistance, or you can ask us for assistance, or you can give those 2 lifelines up for a Google search. You
Ooh,
also have
okay.
2 lives, so you can get 2 questions wrong, and that's
Okay.
fine. You have to get all the way up to question 10. That is the goal, and if you do, you will earn
1 million respect points. And so far, there was only one champion who has
who's our one champion?
I
It
think
wasn't Lauren for sure. She definitely
Wow.
lost.
That was
Um,
rude. I lost because you rigged it.
No,
Okay.
let's
Hey,
not
well,
even
that's
Rigged.
rigged.
So-
What?
Rigged what?
No,
Hmm.
no.
But shout out to our previous champion, the awesome rock star life, Tony Gifford.
Now, what was his category?
Scary movies.
Scary
Yeah,
movies.
they actually gave him the correct category. So
Okay,
of course-
all right, we
Yeah,
got
Lauren asked for geography. I don't know why. It's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
weird. Like, who asked for geography, dude? But whatever. And she failed. So
you
it's-
cut out the
it's weird.
editing inside of
You
when
know,
you post the podcast, didn't you?
no, I mean, you
So
know,
nobody knows.
yeah, no,
That's
yeah,
what
I mean,
went through.
literally, yeah. She asked for geography. What a weirdo.
Actually,
Anyway,
Hamilton.
Yeah,
um,
you know her.
this guy over here claims he knows a lot about Star Wars. So
Oh,
let's test his claim. Are you
Going down-
ready, my friend?
You're throwing down the gauntlet. Let's do it.
Throwing
Yeah.
down the gauntlet. Let's
Here we
do
go.
it.
All right.
All right. Question number 1. Which actor is the only one who's appeared in every single Star Wars movie to date? This quiz was created on July 3rd, 2019. So keep that in mind.
It doesn't matter. It's Anthony Daniels.
Oh, he didn't even answer choices for this one. Whoa.
Okay. I'm, forget the theatrics. Like, that's correct. I can't even. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was
So,
amazing.
This guy may be really a trooper in this Star Wars.
Whoa. For those of you who don't know, Anthony Daniels is C-3PO.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly? Okay. All right. Question number 2.
Or 3PO to his friends, but yeah, that's
To
it.
his friends. Okay. Good to know. Question number 2. Which stormtrooper wasn't able to complete his mission in Star Wars The Force Awakens? Hold on.
Okay.
Is it FN 2705? Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're throwing numbers over here. Yeah. Is it FN 2187? Is it FN 1205 or FN 1312?
Ooh.
You want me to read it again?
Give me those again. Yeah. I know that number.
2705?
I know that number's tied in. It's like an Easter egg to another movie, like to another Star Wars movie. Okay. 2715. Okay.
2705,
05. Okay.
2187,
Okay.
1205, or 1312.
It's 2187 because that's a call back to a number in A New Hope. It's 2187.
Is that your final answer?
That is
Tony?
my final
Is it-
answer.
Is
Yeah.
it? Is that your final answer, my
That
friend?
is my final answer. Yes.
Oh, we might have a new champion on our hands, guys. we might have one. We might have one.
Oh,
This kind of scary. Now, Brandon and Lauren, since you are a part of the committee as well, do we have to do some deliberation, or should we let the quiz continue on?
let the quiz continue on.
No, deliberation.
She's salty. 2 against 1. Let's continue the quiz. Question number 3. Question number 3.
Okay.
What kind of vehicle did Ray live in?
Oh,
Do you want to guess, or do you want me to give you the answer choices?
give me the choices.
AT-ST,
Mm-hmm.
Star Destroyer,
Mm-hmm.
Mon Calamari, or AT-AT?
See, I'm not as well versed on the sequels, but I know she goes exploring. I know she goes exploring a Star Destroyer at the beginning. I want to say that she lives though in an AT-AT, in an AT-AT.
Is that your final answer?
Reluctantly, that's my final answer.
I'm sorry, but that is correct.
Oh,
You got it. You got it. She did
Okay.
live in an AT-AT or an AT-AT,
or an
depending on
AT-AT.
who you ask. Question number 4.
An easy win.
I'm gonna level with you guys. Like I don't think these are easy questions, honestly.
They are
Like,
not.
I
No,
literally
they're
just gave
not.
this man.
They're not.
I literally just gave this
well.
man multiple numbers, just like, and you have to guess.
That he clearly knows it so well. I feel like it's not fair. But
Well,
go on.
you know,
Well,
clear-
this is his topic. So
you know, it's listen, maybe next time you don't choose geography and you choose something like, I don't know, like Hamilton, if you really
If
if you
understand.
wouldn't be so
you know.
sexist and listen to women,
Wait a second.
Because
Calling
it's
someone
like-
sexist is in fact sexist. So don't be the sexist here. All right. We love women. We celebrate them. We
Men.
cherish them.
men go continue.
Except for
on.
Lauren. Sorry. Question number 4. According to Master Yoda.
Okay.
According to Master Yoda.
Yep.
How
Thank God.
many Sith are always out there?
2. A master and an apprentice. It's
Is
the
that your
rule of
final
2.
answer?
That is my final answer. They're getting easier.
Oh.
Oh. Listen, before we go on,
He just
I didn't know that he would be this knowledgeable on Star Wars. I thought he just like a tiny bit. All right,
I
guys.
thought I was a casual fan. Oh no, my
Yeah.
friend.
that is correct. That stereotypical scene, or like, I don't know what it's called, right? You probably know, Dudley. You probably know it, where it's like the woman comes in and she plays pool, but she like kind of doesn't know. It's like she kind of doesn't know what she's doing. And
Yeah.
then some guy comes along, and then they make a bet, and then she loses, and then she ups the bet by like a lot, and then she takes the money and dips. I feel like this is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you were a little.
I was
a little modest at the
downplaying it.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Hold on.
downplaying it. Now I'm yeah.
And now I'm out 100K, and I'm
right.
living in a cardboard box.
That's
now.
right.
So let me say this to Dudley. So Dudley, if you do become a champion, you can tell our boss Jen and everyone at VRS, this is your new certification on your resume.
Yeah, you can put this is
I'll add it to my signature line on all my work emails. How about that?
There you go.
Oh, sure. And you can
Yeah.
send it to me.
Easy Beasy Podcast.
That's
Do
right.
you know what you're
Champion.
saying?
That's
Grand champion.
That's right.
It is a mouthful, but it's definitely worth it. It's
Yep.
worthy
And
title.
And if Jen asks us about it, they say that ask Brandon about it.
But don't count your eggs before they hatch, my friend. We still have 6 more questions left. Are
Okay.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 5. What happened to Anakin Skywalker during the battle with Count Dooku?
What happened to him?
I can read you the choices.
Okay. Yeah. I
He
was
lost his-
going to be smart and just throw out an answer, but I want.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure we're on the right path. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, committee, do you think he actually needs any answer choices?
I
from this point on?
don't. I think this
Mm.
preamp.
Hmm.
If he gets
Hmm.
close enough, we'll give him a half point.
You know, Lauren, you're always gonna vote to make the quiz more difficult, aren't you?
I felt like that one was a decent answer. Like I didn't say to give him a bad point. Like
Okay.
as long as he
Okay,
makes it close.
So I think I was about to spot out the wrong answer because he actually encounters Dooku twice. He encounters him at the end of Attack of the Clones, and then he goes up against him at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. I think the one you're referring to is when he battles him with a lightsaber. So I'm going to say that he gets his hand cut off because that's out of those two, that's the only thing that physically happens to him. To Anakin, he gets his hand cut off. But if you want to read me the choices,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Number one, that is correct.
Okay.
Number two, we are not reading you any more answer choices because you did not need. You really didn't need it. I'm like
listen.
My jaw's on the ground.
All right, so just keep going with this. Let's see how this goes.
We all know how this game show works. Things can change. Nothing stays the same. And now we will read questions 6 through 10 with no answer choices. Are you ready, my friend?
Okay. All right.
We're up in the stakes here. You still have 2 lifelines. You still have 2 lives. Okay. 5 for 5. So you're looking good.
Okay.
Question number 6. Who played the part of Commander Cody?
Commander Cody was played by, since he was a direct clone of Jango Fett, who was played by Tamara Morrison, I'm going to say Tamara Morrison. Or however you say his name. Last name Morrison.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Unbelievable. That is correct. Unbelievable. I am... You know what?
Should we just stop now? Should we just stop now and just?
We really could just stop now.
Because now we're just wasting time, and I'm just dragging it out.
Question number 7. Let's just get this over with. We all know what's about to happen. This man has 2 lives. He has 2 lifelines. We all know what's gonna happen. Question number 7. Who killed Jabba? Who?
Oh, Princess Leia. She strangled him.
That's your final answer.
That was my final answer. And then he was blown up, but she killed him.
Unbelievable. Lauren, did you have something to say? Because I have no words. Brandon, do you have anything?
I don't know this guy anymore. I don't know if he's gonna be my coworker or anything. I don't know.
What is blowing my mind is that he is working his way to the answers so logically. Like it's like, all right, well, this happened because this like.
That you know how I am. So as an assistive technology instructor, we logically think about things.
Right. We look at things very linearly and logically. Yeah.
So let's see if you can follow this logic.
Okay.
You have not gotten a single question incorrectly. I am terrified that I'm going to look like. Well, I already look like a fool. Right. This looks like this is a joke.
No.
Hey, hold on. No. This brings back what was his face? Leon. Yep.
And it's funny. We kind of made it more difficult after that, and this guy comes along, and
So I don't think that myth is gonna work here.
So how about this? I don't think you need lifelines.
Hold on. Let's take one away.
1? He's on question number 8, man. We're trying to rig this so he can lose.
Okay.
Brandon's biased because he's friends with him.
We're trying. We can't be giving out respect points all willy nilly. These things don't grow on trees, right?
Oh yeah. I want to earn them. I want to earn them.
He's earning them so far.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. I'll say this. How about this? Since this is an easy walk in the park, you have 1 life.
Okay, I can live with that.
1 life.
Now, if I lose that life, do I get to
you're still in the game?
Question?
You're still in the game. Yep.
Okay. All right.
So, this is not an easy game to win, guys.
Right. No. I want to earn it fair and square, and yeah.
Okay. Question 8.
Okay.
Who wiped out all the information about Kamino from the Jedi Temple archives? I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
Oh, this is a pretty cool question.
Shots fired.
I'm going to say Sifo Dyas. Jedi Master Sifo Dyas.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, but I do have a life that I can sacrifice if I need to.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
The answer was Count Dooku.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, things are getting spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, you getting a little nervous there?
I am getting a little nervous. Yeah.
Now remember,
right.
you still have 2 lifelines.
Okay.
You got,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. I was getting a little cocky. I thought I could do it without him, but I guess that humbled me. Okay, I'm humble. Okay.
This is a life-changing experience coming on the Easy Beasy podcast.
That's right.
Yes.
This is a line of demarcation. This is before and after. Here we go.
Question number 9. What did Luke Skywalker lose in his fight with Darth Vader?
He lost his hand and his lightsaber.
I'm going to need you to be more specific.
Ooh.
What did he lose in his fight with Darth Vader?
I didn't say you were necessarily wrong. I just said I needed you to be more specific.
He lost his right hand in his lightsaber. Vader chopped it off. He had his saber in his hand, and Vader chopped it off, and they both went flying down the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer? The answer is somewhere in there.
Yep. Yeah,
That is correct.
Okay.
oh,
Now, how was the answer worded? I'm just curious.
No, I mean, you said his hand got chopped off, and it was, you had to specify whether it was the right or the left hand.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
question 10. So, Dudley, you are a Jedi now. If you answered it correctly, you are now at question 10, the last question. If you do this, you will be our second champion of the Easy Beasy podcast. Do you know what you're saying? So, that's esteemed company is what it sounds like.
I think he would be the third champion because Leon was our first. Did Tony win?
Yeah, 21.
21. So you'd be our third. You'd be our second champion of this season.
Okay.
So this is for all the marbles.
Okay.
Typically what we do is you don't have any lives, you don't have any lifelines. This is just one question.
Oh, so my lifelines are gone? So it's
lifelines
just me?
are gone.
Okay.
This is we tend to do this for anybody who gets to question 10.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready. I shall do my best. I sound like Ben Stein when Ben Stein's money. I shall do my best.
Question number 10 for all the marbles. According to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness?
His faith in his friends. Wait. Hold on. I'm taking myself back to that scene. Okay. So they're on the Death Star. Ooh. Gosh. Okay. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna throw it out there. No guts, no glory. If I win it, great. If not, it was an honor trying and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna say his faith in his friends, as far as in regards to his faith that they will accomplish their mission.
Okay.
He says something to the emperor, like something, Emperor, this is your weakness, and the emperor says your faith in your friends is yours, I think, and so that's what I'm going to say.
That's your final answer.
That's my final answer.
Well, Dudley, I'm gonna have to say
He won, didn't he?
you, my friend, are correct.
Congratulations! Oh, I got this. I like to do this. Dudley Morris, my dear co-worker, you are a champion of season 2. You have won
1 million respect points.
So
thank you.
You can go to VRS and tell everyone, yes, I am the champ with Easy Beasy. And if anyone at VRS want to step up,
I'll see if I can redeem those for a pay raise and see how.
I don't know how that's going to work.
The exchange rate from respect points to $2 is exactly 0.001.
Can I cash these in? Yeah.
So you can for half a penny.
Just go to Jen and cash it in.
That's right.
Just half a penny. But it was so awesome having you on our game show. So awesome having you on the podcast in general.
Well, I do appreciate it. It was.
Let's roll out the red carpet for the champion, and this camera, that camera, even though there are no cameras around.
Right.
What would you like to shout out, my friend?
Oh, shout out to my lovely, beautiful wife, Brittany, all my family, everybody that got me here to this point, all my coworkers, and just everybody in general. I love everybody. Thank you. And my mom and dad for giving birth to me. Well, I guess my mom physically gave birth, but you know what I mean. Thank you.
Shout out to all the moms out there.
That's right.
Shout out to our champion. That was actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I threw everything I had at this guy.
I'm surprised you doubted him.
And I you know what? No more. The doubt shall be no more.
I was doubting myself. I was going through the scenes in that last one. I was kind of having to replay the movie in my mind, and I'm like, that's got to be it. So that was awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything you guys would like to say before we head out?
Not at all.
But Dudley,
salty.
You're a great coworker.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yes, we both got to meet each other. I only knew Dudley for almost a year. I remember I contacted him to ask him questions about the job, and he was one person that recommended me to. And then I heard he was Apple only. Like, what about Jaws?
We didn't even get into that Apple debate, but we can save that for another.
We can save that.
I heard a sigh of disdain as from Lauren just in the back, like when we mentioned Apple, because I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm the only Android here, and
green bubbles. Ooh.
Listen. I am just vibing with my affordable phone that doesn't break as soon as you drop it the first time you get it out the box.
You know what? Okay? You know what they say though. Green is for money. So keep stacking up that paper.
That's okay. We'll stay over here in our walled garden with Apple, and they'll just keep curating these wonderful end-to-end experiences for us.
Oh, this turned to the greatest Apple commercial of all time. Shout out to Dudley. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Brandon. It's been
shout out to Apple.
Shout out to Apple. This has been a wonderful podcast.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Android as well.
Shout out to Android as well. This has been the Easy Beasy podcast. Gotta love it. Everyone, please like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything, and keep it easy and beasy.
Bye.